if Brad Kaaya, who turned out to be, and I was ranking quarterbacks at the time and still do in the offseason. That doesn't mean I know exactly what I'm talking about, but I think this would be pretty consistent with the national analysts' approach on assessing Brad Kaaya as a collegiate quarterback at the time, not what's happened since, that he was a top 10 or 12 quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
How good are they in 2017 if they have Brad Kaaya, if he has one more year of eligibility leading that team?
Man, that I mean, if you bring him back, I think that could have been a really special season, like all the way through. Not having the smoke and mirrors and things like that, and like Malik Rozier did some things with his legs that Brad Kaaya could not have done. But I think that the offense would have just been that much better. I think that Brad would have, I think he would have been well over 4,000 yards with the kind of talent that we had on that team. I think that, with that defense and everything, just getting after it. That's a thing that, I was hoping even at the time, just because that 2016, the run at the end of that year, it seemed like things started to click. And then when we went up against West Virginia in that bowl game and whooped their ass, it really seemed like, hey, we're cooking with grease now. So, you bring back a 4-year starter at quarterback, he would have been, 13,000 career passing yards. He would have been, because he was at 9,700, I want to say, in 3 years. He would have been, he'd have been up around 12.5, 13,000 yards passing for a career. He would have been doing that. You had skill guys everywhere. That was a thing. And I think that 2017 season could have really, really, really been something special. But then you lose Njoku after only 2 years playing as a redshirt sophomore going to the league. That hurt. You have Amon Richards with injury in 17. That hurt as well. And some things. So, it's not necessarily only on Brad Kaaya, which is good that you bring up, because somebody said that it was entirely on Brad Kaaya that Miami lost to Florida State those 3 years that he was here. And I wholeheartedly disagreed. I put up stats, and Brad, who's on Twitter, saw it, and he sent back a screenshot of some analytics and some stats that somebody had culled before. He said, "I did my best, fam." And if you look at it, every statistical area was as good as, if not better than, these other quarterbacks of note. And I don't remember their names. But like, if I gave you their names, you'd be like, oh, this guy, like names of guys that went against Florida State who and his stats against them were as good or better in every single category, except for the wins. Now, look, it's not Brad's fault that extra point got blocked. It's not Brad's fault that we couldn't tackle Dalvin Cook in the second half for any of those years. You know what I mean? Like, he did that sophomore year, he had 405 and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. Like, on 60% completions or almost 65. Like, what are you talking about? That is only on Brad that we lost. Like, and I get people talking about QB wins and everything as a metric, which quarterback wins is not a thing. But yeah, I think that the 2017 season could have really been even more settled and better than it went. If Brad would have come back, and maybe one of these injury things would not have befallen this team. And also, just take a little second and look back on the work that he did in 3 years here.